All right, let's go ahead and start with phase two. And that is, we're going to be working on the middle ground. So the middle ground goes on top of anything that you have in your background, which is probably normally going to be your clouds, details like that. For me, that's the mountain. So let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, so you're going to see I went ahead and finished up those clouds. And one cool thing that I forgot to show you when I was doing the cloud demo, because I got over here to some others. Spots over here on the left, but this particular cloud right here, I actually made it have a transparency. So that gave kind of like a cool effect. So you might want to try that on some of yours that you have. So let me go back to where it was. So again, on my color, it was a custom color because I just added like a light blue and then I hit custom and then I changed the transparency on that. So it added a kind of a cool cloud-like fluffy effect, like you can kind of see through it. So I kind of like that. Add a few smaller details here and a little highlight over here on the clouds. All right, so now we know the background we've already handled. We're doing the middle ground right now. So if I can zoom in on these a little bit so you can see, these middle ground area is actually several layers. So you might find you have that too, things in front of the other. So if that's the case in your middle ground, like say you have several different types of trees or something like that, and some are back behind, some are in front, or you have an object and there's several objects and one's in further back. We're going to start with the furthest back one. So I've got this one really light hazy mountain, and you can see how as when we come up in this mountain, it's going to get a little bit darker, which normally occurs, and then the color gets a little bit more intense or saturated, we call it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come back in and I'm going to select, it's a little bit more angular. I'm going to go back and select the polyline. And then I am going to outline. Again, nobody knows if you're a little bit off on this, but you can see I'm coming out here past where this one space is. That's because I'm going to be layering on top. So it's going to cover anything up this arbitrary shape right here. So let me go ahead and change this transparent and let's go find, oh, before I do that, let me move it over so I can see it. I'm just going to move it just a little bit so I can see what it is right here since I'm still zoomed in. So I'm going to try to match this color as closely as I can, and maybe something here. No, it needs to be a little bit darker than that. That's too dark. So let's come back here and then I'm going to hit custom because it builds from that. And then I'm going to darken this up just a little bit. Still, I'm staying in the gray-blue family, the more grays, because my colors are going to get more intense as I go forward. That doesn't look too bad. Okay, so let me go back and let's zoom the fit. And again, I'm selection tool. I'm holding the shift key down. And again, I can't tell exactly where that is right now, but we'll refine that in just a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna come back in, zoom in. Now I'm working on this mountain right here, selection tool. And I notice it comes all the way, you can barely see it right over here. See that color right there? And I'm gonna change it. Oh, I've got a lot of custom colors going on. Okay, it's gonna be a little bit more intense than that. So I need a little bit. Now it is gonna work out really nicely, I'll tell you. I'm doing all these custom colors. Oh, no, that's too much. It really works out well if you can use these guys right here. So I might go ahead and start trying that because my color is getting a little bit darker or more intense anyway on this middle ground. So I'm just gonna see if I can make some of these. It's too much. So let's go back over here. I'm going to select that for right now. Okay, go back to fit. So you can see this. Shift key down, shift key locks it into. Again, I might have to move that around. All right. So now I have this mountain, and then I have these two right here that's in the foreground. Excuse me. Now you could get really detailed and try to follow exactly, but again, you can be a little bit more arbitrary. But I do like, as we get closer towards the front, we do want to start thinking about detail. There's a little guy right here, so I'm going to go ahead and draw that in. Now I can move these at the same time. I can probably, no, can't see the other. I can see this guy right here. The more you can see and you do it one time, the better it is, because you can move all these elements together. Go ahead and draw this one. Oh, and I noticed that there's something, and I didn't notice this till the end. That's okay, because we can play around with our order, which is good for me to go ahead and tell you guys what I would do in this situation. Okay, so here's this one, but I know I need to make this one way more intense. Now, if you see, oh shoot, look at that. I didn't scroll all the way over. That's okay. This is a great opportunity to show you what I would do. So we're gonna trick the viewer into thinking this is one shape because I missed it. I didn't scroll all the way over. I'm going to go ahead and draw this one. And since I have no border onto my line, it's kind of like when we did our exercise where we had the deer. We build it in several shapes. That's good to do too. So let's go ahead and group these guys so it stays together. So I've selected both of these, holding the shift key down. And then under arrange, I'm going to go down to group again. So it's one whole shape. No problem. Now I'm going to get this little distant mountain right here, and then I'm going to play around with the order. So let's go back. Again, as we go back into the distance, it's going to get lighter. So I'm going to change this one up to that lighter color. Now I've got this guy. I want it to be on top. So arrange, order, bring. You can do bring forward or bring to front. That works right now. Now I've got all of these that I've made at one time. So when I pull them over, actually helps because it goes a little quicker if you do everything at one time. So I've got from end to end, beautiful. I've selected everything, fit, and hold the shift key down, move everything over. Now, I can see right now that these things weren't in place, So I'm gonna move these over, and I've got a problem because of the color. So, because I can't see the difference between these. So I'm gonna go custom, oops, so got that selected. Custom, I don't know why I did that. I have multiple things selected, that one, custom, there we go. I'm gonna lighten this up a little bit, take it a little bit grayer. Okay, here's this one. It's not too bad right there at this one, is it? Okay, I might want to play around with these colors just a wee bit more. Maybe darken this one up so we can see the layers that is going back behind it. And the last thing that I need to do is I'm going to get these guys, but I need to get this right here. I'm going to get the water. Sorry, this demo is taking a little bit longer, but I need to get the water here, and then I can come back in and get this guy and these three. So remember, horizon line where the sky meets the land, I am going to make, oops, right here. I'm going to make this water area. Now, if I can see, move this over a little bit so I can see what's going on. It looks like the water is getting from light to dark, so I'm going to use that gradient again. So transparent, gradient. And then I want this, and I'm going to start here. So it looks like, but it's looks like a little bit more green. You're going to find that your colors will get more intense and things are probably going to get more green in your landscapes in general because colors change. So I'm going to go hit custom. And instead of this color, I'm going to try to get a more greeny. So I'm going to go in here. Let's try that. Ooh, not bad. Not bad for the color. So let's go ahead and move this over. Look at my cheat sheet here that I'll give you. So if you need those key commands, go a little bit quicker, you can. All right, so now that I have this, I'm going to make sure this comes on top. Arrange order, bring to front. Nice. Okay, so I have not done this mountain right here or these little guys. Let's do those at one time so we can move them over. And again, that's going to lock them into a good, so they're going to be spaced out in the right way. So if I can build them at the same time, that's great. I can change it to a curve tool. Let's just change this one to a curve tool. This one looks pretty soft. Ooh, see what it does? Ugh. Sometimes it does that. You don't like it. And I'm going to do, you might have to try different things. Again, I don't have to get every tree. But I do like that as we move closer to the foreground, you're going to see more detail in your objects. And then my last one. And notice how I'm doing these all at the same time. I'm going to change the color. I might change them the exact same. So I'm going to hold the shift key down. That's quicker. Work quicker, work smarter. That's what I always say in digital art is important. Still allowing ourselves to get the best detail. Okay, so I'm choosing that darkest blue color. Fit. Now they're all selected. I'm going to move them over. So again, I know that one is locked at the side. So I can pull it right there to the edge. Oh, nice. All right, so I don't know what yours is, but I feel pretty good about this. Let me move this over so we can take a look. So we're working our way towards the foreground, which we'll do next. All right, have fun.